We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
That's me. That's
you?
me in this bitch.
There's you? Are we going to have a guest tonight?
I doubt it.
Then I'll get back to you.
I doubt it. It's all right.
I was wondering about that as I was futzing around getting stuff, trying to get it loaded and all that, and I'm like, oh, we didn't connect on whether or not the guest was showing up or not. So
Yeah, never heard back.
gotcha.
It's
Woo!
all right.
Today was a busy one, like unexpectedly. What's going on?
Oh no, they did
sir?
get back. I just never checked my text message.
You never got back.
Nah, but it was, to be expected.
Yeah.
Nah, he said he gone to reschedule till next week.
All right. Well, whatever works.
Listen, I'm not mad.
Shower heads are always welcome.
know?
How's the week
But,
been?
the week. Why do they call it a week?
It's a great question. I'm sure it has roots in something.
Probably because it'll break you down before you get to the end
Make
of
you
it.
weak before you finish it.
I
I hear you.
Nah, but I mean, no complaints.
Yeah.
No complaints. I mean, I've been working extra,
Yeah.
working on the house and shit, but I have no complaints.
That's kind of my week. Like, there were ups and downs throughout it. Like, I had an interview that was supposed to happen today, and it got rescheduled for the second or third time. But then I landed, like, 3 other ones, and I got, a no back on one that I wasn't really sure I wanted anyways. And
Right.
I built a weight bench today. I got a weight bench down in the basement now.
I might have to come fuck with you. I need to get back right.
Yeah. So I got that
My
down
shoulder's
there.
finally getting to the point that I can do more than 10 push-ups and not feel like, oh.
All right. There you go. Hey, man, baby steps. You got to get back to it.
All right.
And then put a heavy bag down there, too, for A-Reg and the gloves.
Gotta.
So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move where the bag is at. There's only one place to fit it right now, and I think if I clean some stuff up down in that section of the basement, I'll open up one side for like.
I was going to come over today, and I'm. Fuck it, whether or not this is a podcast talk or not. What we're gonna do is the next couple times I come over, of course, I know you're gonna be watching. I'm gonna show you form, and I leave the shit there anyway.
Yeah.
Them is his gloves, but the pads stay there.
Gotcha.
you can that way you
I
can
can coach him
look
up.
at
Yeah,
him
yeah, yeah.
and right when I'm not there.
Yeah.
That way he's not just learning bad form on a bag. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I'm with you. I got the bag more, just as much for me as I did for him. So
Is it sturdy?
yeah, it's pretty sturdy. I need to go pick up a carabiner tomorrow when I pick up some other stuff because I've got a little bit of what is it, like a cable lock cable, like one of the
Do you
steel
have
cables.
gloves?
I picked up some MMA ones.
I'll bring you some gloves too.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Of course.
But
I'll bring
yeah.
you some gloves too. I know it's my guy's birthday, but I'll bring you some too.
Oh, thanks, Sonny. Oh, and I sent you that picture today, and like
Yeah, I did.
it was like there were three shots, and I think I only sent you one of them, but like all three of them, it's A-Reg and the 3 or 4 brown kids in his class, and I was just
He
like,
said brown.
brown or black. Well, one of them's brown, 3 of them are black, or 2 of them are
Right.
black.
They black.
They black.
They black.
But it hit me like just immediately. I'm like, the one white dude hanging out with the 3 brothers in his class. I had no idea what that reminds me of.
But you know what's funny is, right, when I thought about that, I thought that's why the youth is supposed to do better, right? Because you got to think about it. Like, of course, we connected early, very early.
Yep.
But how, I guarantee you didn't have somebody of African American descent in your household.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now A-Reg is growing up with somebody, you know, around that is black.
Well,
so it's more normalized than even to him than it would have been to you.
No doubt. And I think on top of that, like why it was normalized to me was I went to an in-home care provider before I went to preschool because my parents always worked. And the in-home care provider lived down my block. Grandma Stewart is what I used to call her. She was an old black woman, lived down at the end of the block.
If she lived down the block, she was black.
Right. So, like, that's how it was normalized for me. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. He sees, you know, Uncle Cliff come over all the time. So we try.
I need to come over more.
Hey, man. It's been that way. And my mom just chiming in with Mrs. Stewart. I got there before I saw your note, Mom. So, all good, dude.
You on production. I don't know. She may have beat you to it.
Oh, goodness. Well, you got to remember there's like a 6-second lag, too. So
Right. You know I'm bullshitting.
Any inadvertence to get us going, or you got anything else?
I had to.
Okay.
Ask me if I can remember that. And you know what's even funnier about that is that I had them together before we started.
Oh,
I even knew what I was talking about. Hold up. Okay, I got at least one, and I'm sure the one will bring me to the other.
I got you. What you got?
First and foremost, we just had that chat. We gotta bring up Pete Tizzle, man. Not this episode, but I got more questions, Pete Tizzle, because the AI just faked the female getting kidnapped.
What?
You didn't hear about that? So the AI, I don't know if it was the person that programmed it to do so, or I don't think the AI was just acting alone, but I mean, let's treat it like they treated niggas for so long. It was acting on its own recognizance. And the AI basically mimicked the young lady's voice.
Okay.
The young lady, you know what I'm saying? Like they said if you have a certain amount of videos on Facebook, the AI, I heard on the Breakfast Club they was talking about 3 seconds. I don't think it's 3
I
seconds.
don't think it's that, but I do know that being able to replicate voice is something they're using a lot in TV right now. Like they've been doing it for James Earl Jones and Star Wars for the last couple of years.
That's another story. I'm not going to get into it. But what I'm getting at is the AI replicated a young lady's voice and made her basically seem frantic over the phone.
Okay. But somebody had to be using it, so
that's why I was saying I would imagine somebody, programmed it to do so. But and was asking for money. And the people sent the money too.
Oh. Yeah, no.
And my whole thing is it's ironic that AI, right? We was concerned about AI taking everybody's jobs. And it's ironic that the first jobs they take are the Indians. I'm just saying that they take the scammers' jobs first, and then, or if the Indians was working on the mean ass AI, how do we know that wasn't working for the Indians?
No, I mean the misuse potential of it is scary. Like
I'm being ignorant, though.
You are but I understand the point that you're trying to make.
You're taking their jobs. They're the scammers. Leave them alone. The Nigerians too, but Nigerians usually like credit card scammers.
Right.
That's gonna be a little different than.
And all that stuff is run through Russia, anyways. Like.
Oh shit. Bringing all the colors of the spectrum. But I wouldn't doubt it. I definitely wouldn't doubt it.
But that is the fear with where we're at with technology right now.
Remember my second one too, but continue.
Good. Write it down.
I don't need to. I remembered it.
When you combine not only the artificial intelligence aspect, but you combine the audio and visual aspect of it as well, there is potential for great misuse of that, and you already see it right now. Like a lot of the stuff that you see is like it's done for comedy's sake or for
right. But I feel like that's enough evidence, though. I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No doubt. That's absolutely right. I think what's scary to me is that, like, U.S. law and even global laws and things like that are not going to be able to keep up with the advances.
Oh no, I guarantee it.
I
guarantee it.
And the identification of it and our lack of ability to identify it is what scares me, because you can make
I'm listening, but I'm not
video. You can make a whole like video statement, phone call, like what you were talking about, and have it be completely AI generated, where to the untrained eye or the untrained ear, you can't tell the difference. And until we have the right kind of detection technology that is just,
you heard that Joe Rogan shit?
Yes. In fact, that came up on a podcast today, and someone, like, because there's a comedian who, like, has been doing, like, the AI face stuff, like the deep fake stuff, but then inserting, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger into ridiculous movies. He said the Joe Rogan one was
like the Old Spice commercial,
right?
With Dolph Lundgren,
right? But the Joe Rogan one that's making the rounds, that was all AI. There was not a human component in what was being presented. Now, obviously, somebody had to tell the AI to do that, but that's where, you know, especially when we're in the age of like cancel culture and shit. make an AI video and make people prove that it's not you that said these horrible things if you want somebody canceled. Like that's scary stuff, man. And we don't have the technology yet to say and to recognize immediately, especially to like, the untrained eye. And we already know that the masses are sheep anyways.
Who are you even speaking to?
No, I know you know.
I've been saying this shit. But I feel like the only good thing that may come about, I can't even say that. That's ignorant as fuck. But that's also me thinking in a roundabout way that I'm sure it's not even appropriate to say. But no, I'm going to say it anyway, of course. But it brings us to almost an anarchist state. You know what I'm saying?
It can.
Where you have to throw the laws out the window. And at that point, it's up to you to abide by your particular morality.
Your own code.
And then it's even if you don't want to identify by that morality, you run a chance of getting stomped out by robot and human feet. You feel what I'm saying? Now that's where you get dangerous, right? Because if the robot is like, that's fucked up, and the humans are like, that's fucked up, you might get ripped apart at that point. These motherfuckers got piston engines in they fucking kneecaps. I bet they can stomp you out with a quickness.
Right.
If they chose to, man, listen.
But that's more my fear. Like, think about everything that went down with, like, QAnon, right? With, like, the random Reddit posts and, like, what led to the storming of the Capitol and all that stuff.
Okay. I was about to say, 'cause I'm not really sure what QAnon was all the way, but I know.
All the conspiracy. I got it. It's all the conspiracy shit. Now imagine.
But that's not right. You can't do that.
Now, but imagine... Now you have an AI that is generating, quote unquote, video and audio proof of everything that they believed in terms of the conspiracy.
Right.
And people aren't smart enough to know the difference.
That's dangerous, but I was about to say you can't do that though. You can't just put all conspiracy in QAnon. But
but you get what I'm trying to say. Like,
there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers. There's a lot of dumb motherfuckers on both sides of the fence, whether it be the right or the left. And I don't know what you call the left. They just haven't come out. Maybe because they're smarter.
Well, it's the Antifa and like that kind of stuff.
Is that what? I don't even know what that is too much, but
yeah, the anti-fascist movement was supposedly radical.
Listen,
liberals.
3 inadverts, because one I'm about to slide in real quick.
Yeah, go.
The new progressive, the new progressive extremist liberal is now the punk rock thug.
Well, but that's always been the case. That was where punk originated. Was being on.
Oh, you think that's just the evolution of?
Yeah, man. Like that punk rock. That's what punk started as, was fighting the establishment and pushing liberal agenda. Like, that's what punk music is.
You think it's pushing a liberal agenda, though?
Uh-huh. Definitely.
I'm going to have to do my research. But do you really think that's where that is, though?
I mean, it was a different level because times were different and we were more centrist. So
I guess that explains
it wasn't
a lot,
that
though.
far off of it. But yeah. I mean, tattoos and piercings and all that, man, that all started on the liberal side. Come on now.
Well, see, I guess I'm equating it to not even the tattoos and the piercings.
Well, yeah, because that's not punk anymore. I mean, I'm a almost 40-year-old white man and I've got tattoos. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Is punk even a thing anymore?
I think there is still a subculture to it. I don't think it's necessarily as big as it. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
All I was getting at when I was saying that in advert was that if you choose It's gonna sound real crazy. But if you choose to color your hair and rock the rock the all I'm saying is it's the same stigma that you put upon yourself as somebody who gets their face tatted.
Yeah.
You could be the most gentle. You could work at a nursing home with your face tatted.
Although I don't know.
But if you got your face tatted, motherfuckers is looking at you like, oh, yeah, you're involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's the same exact thing on that end, whether you have tattoos or not.
If you're going to say it's the same end as like coloring hair, it's not. Dude.
No, it's not just the coloring hair.
Okay.
It's not just the coloring hair.
You're talking about like the. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not about to just break shit down, but fuck it, keep it a buck. The colored hair, the army fatigues, the backpack with the hella patches, all that shit is like a tattoo on your face.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't rock with, you're automatically in that group. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying there. That makes sense to me.
And the whole reason why I came about that is because the motherfucker walked into the speedway that I was going to, and there was nothing off about the motherfucker, but they were blatantly making a statement. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just by their appearance. And it's like, you might as well put a tattoo on your face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody turned around and looked. You might as well put a tattoo on your face at that point.
Right.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with making that statement or having face tattoos. I'm just saying that once you do that, they put you all into
that box or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Chris was at a job, and he tells this story all the time. And the supervisor, I guess, had thought he had served time because he got tats on his face, his whole neck is tatted.
Yeah.
He's tatted all up. So she was like, I thought that you served time, and he felt offended.
Well, these are choices.
Exactly. And that's until I had the conversation with him, like, no, you can't be offended, because that's once you do that, you're in this group, whether you want to or not.
Right.
Now, you can be an anomaly of the group, but you're in that group.
That is your starting point for people people that don't know you. And that goes back to perception is reality. Like, and it goes back to what we've talked about with whether it's the Toltecs or simulation theory. Like, people's experience and worldviews shapes their reality. Perception is reality for that person.
I used to think, and this may be more, what's it called? What I previously said. I used to think that if you had color hair, you are very interesting to speak with. You know what I'm saying? You're an interesting person. Like, but now it's like
it's almost
watered down.
Yeah, no.
It's like Black Lives Matter. Like, so many people started repping it. It doesn't even mean anything anymore.
Well, it's that
now you're just doing it.
Tattoos are another great example. Tattoos used to be like an entire kind of subculture to themselves, and they're not anymore.
Right.
Now, to your point, depending how much you have and where it's located and blah, 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 like, yeah, it might shape it a little bit.
You know what? That's interesting that you even put it like that. Because I'm still very tattoo heavy. I'm still very tattoo addicted. But I haven't gotten any new tattoos because I have always believed that even when I throw a bullshit tattoo on my body, it's a story of the path.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't know. Like, of course, I know what the path I'm on. I know what path I'm on. but I don't know what equates that to ink. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
Yeah, I don't know. But all I'm saying is dye your hair and wear backpacks with patches, and somebody's going to try to throw a milkshake on you and say, why did you vote in the trans for Bud Light?
I don't even know what that statement meant.
It's the fun of it.
Oh, man.
Oh, you ever heard about that?
No, apparently I am not keeping up with shit. So what else you got there?
So Bud Light had a trans spokesperson.
Oh, okay.
And they were like making her the new face of Bud Light, and all the people got upset. They said that they've lost billions so far.
I mean, that tracks for who I know that likes Bud Light.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. That's what's so weird, right? Because
embrace your customers, dude. Like,
you hear what I'm saying?
You should
I have no problem with you being whatever you want to be. But that's like saying we have a new trans spokesperson for Ruger Firearms.
I was about to say for Smith & Wesson.
Are you fucking serious?
Although I am curious, and I think I've asked this question before because I think I've known a few gun-toting lesbians, but how do they vote?
Nah, let's keep it a buck. I'm glad that you said that. And I know it's a joke. I know that it was a joke question.
It's serious.
It is. No, but it is kind of interesting. I am kind of interested in the response to that. But what I'm getting at is we talked about it all throughout the beginning of this podcast. The AI doing their thing and all that. There is not going to be any better time to own a gun than within the next few years.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even worried about saying arm yourself against the AI. No, I'm saying arm yourself against the people that the AI
is targeting.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, the AI can say whatever, and then eventually somebody has an offense to what you said and comes to you better be prepared.
You know what I'm curious about? Because that just led me down another path.
Mm-hmm.
What is political advertising going to look like?
Fuck that shit.
Next year, in 2024, when it is a major presidential election.
Trump. That's what it's going to look like, Trump.
But I'm not. You're missing my point here. You already saw how dangerous some of the misinformation campaign could be in 2016, in 2020.
Right.
How much worse does it get when that is now powered by AI?
I understand what you're saying. But that's
that is terrifying.
Why I say
it's
the
going to be
answer.
Annoying. Is really
the answer is Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm saying the answer is Trump. I'm just saying that right now Trump has a very keen sense of the way things are going.
Yeah.
He had an interview where he said there are two N-words. There are two N-words in this world, and only one of them you cannot use. Which one do you think it was?
I'm not dumb enough to fall for this on recording.
Oh, I guarantee it wasn't nigger. Which N-word do you think? No.
Okay.
What? Nuclear.
I
said, you know what? Now, while I may be a nigga myself, you may be onto something there. Because what he said was, it's two N-words, and you can only not say one of them, and it's nuclear. And he said, nobody ever said nuclear when I was in office. I said, you know what? You goddamn right. And I think half of that was because they knew if nukes was good, Trump was going to hit that button. he was going to hit that button.
He'd have to figure
Right
out
now,
the nuclear football first, but
they gambling, even if Biden wanted to hit the button, that he would make it to the motherfucker. This nigga may have to tap the table 4 times before he... You hear what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is the danger comes from the fact that there are a lot of people that don't know shit about shit, and they just rocking with the guy that they feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that was the last presidential election.
AI into it that's targeting the people that already have firearms.
Right.
So why would I give mine away?
No doubt. I mean, so circling back to your original question on like what the answer to that was, is they vote liberal, but only because of the social aspects. Like there are a number of them.
Wait, who vote? Wait.
So circling back to the gun-toting,
catch me up.
The gun-toting gays and lesbians, the answer was that they vote liberal because of the social aspects. Now, you start making that more accepted where that's not part of, protecting the sanctity of marriage or whatever is not part of the Republican platform.
But see,
you start getting some of the gays and the lesbians.
But see, that's LGBT. The thing, though. That's where I feel like it's by design because there shouldn't be a connection to both.
I hear you because we're in such a bipartisan or a two-party system. That's the problem.
I understand that as well, and that's what's so off to me about everything, right?
Those things shouldn't be attached to one another.
Right. But there's so many things that are attached to your political views and standpoints that it's like it's all by design. They do it so, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. To keep it divided.
But there are so many. Listen, this is how I recognize, right? Because I understand that motherfuckers are racist. And I feel like they have a right to be racist.
Right.
If that's the way you feel or want to feel, you have a right to feel that way.
Right. You can't go out hunting people, but if you feel...
And I would hope you're not stopping people from getting jobs or exceeding,
right,
which is the big issue.
Yeah.
But if you want to be racist, be fucking racist. I have no problem with that. The issue now is that they're stopping people from having problems with things that they let motherfuckers be ignorant.
Right.
If they want to be ignorant, let them be ignorant. It's not up to you to argue their ignorance because that's like arguing with a brick fucking wall.
Right. You're never going to change their mind anyways.
Right. So what's the point of arguing ignorance? Let them be ignorant. But at the end of the day, what you can do with ignorance is you can always manipulate.
No doubt.
So if you can identify an equal understanding with the ignorant motherfucker, it's very easy to sway their beliefs to yours.
Right. Completely agree with that statement.
So I guess what I'm getting about in a roundabout way is motherfuckers are going about it wrong. And right now, with what we just did with interviewing Chat GPT, P Tizzle, and motherfuckers putting up AI ransoms, it's gonna come to a point where the human beings have to come to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A uniting stance.
Yeah.
Ain't about color, race, religion, poverty, wealth line. You're gonna have to come to an understanding because it's gonna come very soon that you listen. I'm just trying to say.
I'm with you.
I'm just trying to say that's all I'm saying.
All right. Hitting the chat real quick. So the REITs, we already talked about Miss Stewart. Trust no one and nothing. Another one from the REITs. We all agree with that.
Of course.
Amanda Holyfield chiming in about the punk rock or punk subculture. She said she would say it's anti-establishment.
She said they had patches on their backpack for years. So that didn't mean that they was. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, she said that it's anti-establishment, not liberal. Fair. And the last one was, Amanda came back with Cliff, begin your punk journey. Check out the song The Guns of Brixton by The Clash.
The Guns of Brixton?
That's what she said, yeah.
I'm going to do that. I already got my punk journey. You know how many anarchy symbols I got tatted on me?
You're already there. I got you.
The fuck? At least 7. I was at when I dislocated my shoulder. They had to cut my shirt off. And the nurse was like, she was looking at my tattoos and she said, "Are you a big Marvel fan?" And I knew exactly what she was talking about. So I said, yeah. And she said, well, which Avengers was your favorite one? And I was like, I don't even know if I've seen all of them. But I knew exactly what she was talking about. But I didn't want to say anything. But the funny thing was, it was other people in there, and I could see their looks at her asking that question. And it was like the main doctor was like, "Bitch, that's an anarchy symbol. That's not even fucking Avengers. What are you talking about?"
That's funny.
Oh, that was the funniest shit, man. Listen, I'm very punk, just not
in your own way.
Punk ass.
You're so punk that you're punk.
It could be true.
It might be.
No, it's not. Now that I think about it, because in a world full of labels, I'm labelless.
I think that's punk.
That's very fucking punk, isn't it? That's very fucking
Screw
punk.
the labels.
Fools agree.
That sounds like punk to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Fools
did you
agree.
have another?
What was it? Horns of Braxton? What am I listening to?
The Sons of Anarchy. No, the Guns of Brixton.
Guns of Brixton. I'm gonna write that down because I want to hear it.
I
don't think I'm gonna like it. Just
go ahead.
And I know I'm being like early. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not giving it a chance, but I doubt I like it.
I mean, I've been surprised with what you like, so I don't know. One of my favorite memories of us growing up is being at your place in Gahanna and going upstairs and you throwing on Papa Roach. Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah, I heard it on MTV and I said that. Listen, but I listened to it lately and I was like, I don't know why you like that. The beat is amazing, but just the.
It was.
I mean, it's a time. It's a time.
You wild out to that song.
I also like Spice Girls at a time.
I also remember that's another good memory of sitting in. I think it was actually summer school at Mansion in Miss Jamie's class, rocking out to freaking Spice Girls.
I remember.
Yo, I'll tell you what.
I think she actually was the one that put.
She put you onto it.
Because I heard it in that class and we went to the movies. Me and my mom went to the movies. And they played it. And I was like, I heard that at school. Then they played another song from them. And you know me, that's another invert. I'm going to get to it real quick. But I heard it and I was like, that's them. And I was like, I like that too.
I mean, to be clear, their first album, CD, tape.
That bang.
We all banged to that. Like
that bang. It really did bang. I'm not even gonna stunt. That bitch bang. What was that?
To become one.
You was jacking off music. I know what you're talking about though. That I like the song, but that was before you could have sex to sex music.
That's true.
But ain't no buts about it. Because it definitely wasn't no butts in the Spice Girls.
We talking about Sporty Spice had a little bit of one.
Man, listen, it wasn't no butts in the Spice Girls. The closest butt was Scary Spice, and Eddie Murphy had to fuck a man to get ass. The fuck? There wasn't no London butts around there. Now, when she had her baby,
oh yeah,
she got a little thick. I'm not gonna lie about that.
That's true.
I'm not mad at it.
I was on a little bit of a. I don't even think it's punk. What was the journey? I was listening to some Panic at the Disco and OAR today.
Panic at the Disco, give me a song. I that sounds like something I like.
I write sins, not tragedies. Lying is the best fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off.
I came in with the haven't you people ever heard of? Closing the goddamn door, no. Listen, that's what I'm talking about.
I took Andrew to that concert about 6 months ago.
It was that Fallout?
Panic at the Disco.
Is that who I sung?
Yeah, yes, it was.
That's who that was?
They all kind of sound the same, so.
I just threw out a song, and I just must have got it right on accident. I shot a half quarter, and I made it.
You did. From way beyond the line. Well done.
That's really that's really
yes,
Panic?
That's Panic at the Disco.
Okay. That is crazy.
That was actually, that may be the hottest song I've ever heard at a concert. Because it was the entire crowd. Like I don't think I don't think they sung 10 words in the song. Like the entire crowd was singing it with them the whole way.
Right. And
I was one of them.
I feel like N-words are legal at concerts.
You think? Oh, can white folks get away with them there?
I do. But I also feel like you should judge by the person you're sitting next to. If I didn't know you and you was rapping some shit, I wouldn't do you like that because you're at a concert.
Right. I hear you.
It's different. I don't have
as long as you're singing along, it's fine, right?
Right.
Is that the rule?
I mean, really, the rule is intent.
True. I hear you on that.
Because my mom, matter of fact, that's funny. My mom's birthday and my father's just passed. Happy birthday to both y'all motherfuckers. But she asked me while we were at her birthday dinner, she said, do you remember back in the day, and this sounds wrong, I don't mean to just put it out like that, but she was saying, do you remember that little white girl that called you a nigger at Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like 4 years old. She tried to tell me I was 3 or something. I still to this day remember her visually and everything. I said, yes, she had brown long hair. She had a blue shirt on. She was naming it along with me. She remembered, and it just confirmed to me like, yeah, no, I remember all that.
Yeah.
I remember all of that. But the reason why I bring it up is because I ain't even gonna say that. I was about to say something, but I ain't even gonna say that. That I won't say.
All right.
And it's not nothing about that. It's just about Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, you got
Never
another
mind.
inadvertent to spin us into off of that. That whole conversation took me off. I got nothing.
No, what was I? I did have an inadvert before I said that though.
The one I told you to write down, and you were like, "Nah, I'll remember it."
I thought I already established that. I thought I already established that.
I was only kidding.
Damn, man. Now I'm feeling like I forgot something.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
I don't know what I forgot, but I seen all of the what's the calls you've been dropping?
Oh, the
Seems
reviews
like
or
you've
whatever.
Yeah, watching shit.
I have been. Well, the two series that I've been following, which it's interesting that they dropped them at the same time. Mandalorian and Picard both just wrapped up. So I dropped season finale or series. Well, for Picard it was a series finale review, and then for Mandalorian it was a season. But yeah, man, there's been some good stuff lately. Like, saw the
Maybe no
mark.
good stuff.
I mean, for geeks there has been.
Well, tell us the truth. Tell us the truth then.
Nah, Mandalorian this season got, I don't know, like it. What's interesting is it got a little bit of hate in terms of it just not being like what people were looking for. But I actually thought it was one of my favorite. I thought it was my favorite season.
This Mandalorian.
Season 3 of the Mandalorian, because they went back to like Mandalore and Mandalorian culture, which was something they haven't really touched on despite the show being the Mandalorian. And Katie Sackhoff, who was also in Battlestar Galactica and some other things, like she's a big character in this season of Mandalorian, and it was all about them kind of reuniting the clans and retaking their home planet, which
Where's
I love.
the dude, or what show is the dude where you say he judges and the people off of their art?
Oh, that's Star Wars too, and he is actually going to be coming to live action for the first time in the next Star Wars series that's coming out in August called Ahsoka.
That's on
That'll be Disney Plus. Yep.
God damn it.
But I am excited for that, and I think
Hold on real quick.
that Mandalorian was at a point where it is going to lead into that, and what they are talking about with season 3 of the Mandalorian, or with Mandalorian or the Mandalore universe, is that the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and a new show called Skeleton Crew are all going to be TV series that are set kind of between the original trilogy and the new trilogy that Disney did, and they're going to insert a new movie. And the guy who basically studied at George Lucas's altar and who did Clone Wars, Rebels, like, has done a lot for Star Wars' like storytelling. He's actually doing a movie, and it's either 25 or 26, that is going to take all the Star Wars TV series and they're going to result in a movie, which I think is going to be really cool to go through that kind of journey and bring someone like Grand Admiral Thrawn to like the big screen, and it's going to be kind of an epic in and of itself. So I think that that's going to be
Admiral Thrawn is the dude with the art.
Yep. He's a blue skin, kind of human looking, but he's blue skin, red eyes, and his battle strategies, his military strategy is based on the art of the people that he's fighting. Because he thinks that by looking at their art, he can understand kind of who they are, what they are, and that translates into their battle tactics as well.
Yeah, I remember we did a Dude Fool's Gree episode about, that was the book you were reading. Did you finish that book?
Yeah. There've been 6 total in that series. So they did like 3 that played like kind of connecting pieces, and then they went back and did like a prequel 3 set of books.
Is it interesting like that though? Like I know I said from the conversation we had that it would be interesting enough that I would watch it.
Yeah.
But is it interesting enough that because I feel like
It
you got to
is.
do more than just have him in it.
You've got to be able to have that backstory and all that.
Right. You have to explain.
That is actually a big concern in like the Star Wars. I don't want to say the
Community.
Star Wars community, but yeah, the Star Wars community right now is that the stuff that they are doing now, because everything is so interconnected, even more so than Marvel, I would say, that like it could become too inside baseball. That
It
being
almost
said,
feels like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, the only thing that I'll say is that being said, Mandalorian has been accessible to a lot of people, and a lot of people have liked Mandalorian without having all of the history and the knowledge. What
That's
they
the
do,
bait.
what they do really well in Star Wars, or at least what they've done pretty well up till this point, is if you don't know it, it doesn't take anything away from it. But if you do know it, it adds a lot to it.
That's interesting.
So, for example, there's a cameo in this season of Rebel or in Mandalorian that is from someone from the cartoons who shows up for literally like 2 lines of dialogue and like a minute of screen time, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, that was Garazeb Azalius from Rebels," and like he's there,
Right.
but he's just a passing character. So like it doesn't mean anything if you don't know it. But if you do know kind of the backstory and stuff, like he's got his own stuff going on, but he just shows up as like a side character in the show. And I think that they've done a really good job with that. What I'm curious to see is if they can pull that off at a bigger scale with like a big blockbuster movie or whatever.
A big Star Wars movie, like a
Yeah.
new one.
Yeah. So they're
I don't
looking
think
at,
so. I think y'all cry wolf enough.
yeah, especially after the last 3 where like everybody was just like done with it.
Yeah, I think y'all cried wolf enough.
But
Like yeah,
the problem is Disney bought that property for $4 billion. They need to make money off of it, and they have. Like they've made their money back, but
nah,
companies are greedy.
nah, they haven't. They haven't made their money back in the history of Mickey Mouse walking around on a piece of paper. They haven't made back a $4 billion investment.
Well, I mean,
What it was those were Nazis, and they were trying to keep it in the family, regardless. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, there's a lot of commentary on that too between old Disney and new Disney. Like new Disney is so social justice oriented and social justice warrior oriented and that kind of stuff. But what about you, man? What you been watching? Anything?
Ain't no social justice. Nah, but I've been watching my brother called me, and I'm gonna give you the backstory so y'all know how good the show is. My brother called me 2 weeks ago, and we was just shooting the shit. And I guess he was like, laid up with his I don't know what to call her, fiance is what I've heard. I've heard a bunch of shit, but I've never heard an engagement.
Okay.
So I'll call her my sister.
All right.
So he was laid up with her, and they was watching a show called The Night Agent. Have you heard of that?
I think I've seen it.
On Netflix?
Yeah, I think I've scrolled past it, but I heard good things because somebody else said that to me like yesterday or the day before.
When I tell you, this is the best show out right now. Hands down. Listen, and I'm going to tell you why I say it. I was talking to Chris. He told me he was watching it with his girl. That was on a Friday. That Saturday evening, I turned it on.
You
I
already done with
watched
it?
the whole season by Sunday morning at around 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
I stayed up all night, and you know I'm narcoleptic.
Right.
I stayed up all night and watched the entire season.
Okay, so what's it about?
It's that good. And this will get you too. So what it's about is there's an FBI agent, works for the FBI. He stops a terrorist attack. Somebody drops a suitcase or like a duffel bag on a train with a bomb in it. He picks it up and runs it away, but because he got seen with the bag, he's the guy that
they're
did
looking
it
for.
type shit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they give him, so since he lost his shot, FBI, they give him a shot as like a customer service agent to the spies somewhat. He only answers one phone, and the phone is people who work for the government, and they're, asking for help.
Okay.
Comes to find out the government, like we already know to this day, is crooked, but he doesn't know who to
trust.
fuck with.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where he gets pinned as the guy, all kinds of shit. It's a good show.
Okay.
It's a great show.
All right. I'm looking for something after Sons of Anarchy, so I'm almost done.
You're so fucking late with your
I got one episode left. Hey, Jax better get Gemma is all I'm saying.
You say you got one episode left of Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, last episode.
I never watched it.
Yeah, man. I need to know.
Well, Jax is dead. Let me break your heart.
Stop it.
That's the only reason why I ain't watched the last episode.
Gotcha. As long as he takes his mom with him, he's fine. Don't spoil that part for me. So the other one that I've been watching lately, or the one that just wrapped, was Star Trek Picard. And this season,
I still want to see it, but
this season they brought back the entire cast of the Next Generation.
Of the Next Generation, but
with Picard, with Patrick Stewart and Worf and Geordi.
Who's Patrick Stewart?
Captain Picard, the bald dude with the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was. I didn't like the first episode or two, but then it hooked me, and then like everybody started coming back. And the series finale, spoiler, ends with them with the credits rolling while they're playing a game of poker, which was something that just kind of recurred throughout the series. And it was just, it took me back.
Was it like the dog? Was it like the dog picture?
Kinda. It's literally like kind of a top shot of the table and like them all sitting around playing. And it took me back because I remember watching the series finale of Star Trek The Next Generation with my dad. And so it just brought back just a lot of feelings on that front. But it was, and they set it up to be able to. Those are good, though. It was.
Those are good.
And they set it up to be able to do another kind of different iteration of it that I'm curious to see if it gets greenlit or if they do anything with it. But the way they left it, it was open for kind of a new cast to take over, which Star Trek is doing. Like Paramount Plus may be the most underrated streaming service that's out there right now, between what they do with like Yellowstone, 1885. And
so wait, it's on Paramount, or
that one's on Paramount
Disney Plus?
This one, Star Trek, is on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Star Wars is on Disney Plus.
Okay. I follow.
So that was good, and then
I follow.
Wrapped up watching You with Amanda. So we watched the series finale of that, That was the season 4 it was a little predictable. Although the way it ends is a little bit of a twist that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Like, you kind of expect the dude to get his comeuppance, and he doesn't. So
He said his comeuppance. No, he didn't.
Instead, he gets to live happily ever after. So that was a little weird.
Well, the whole show is weird.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I lasted until he locked that person down in the library.
Gotcha.
Like the 4th or 5th episode of the first season. After that, I was like, "Oh, I'm
done.
I'm done with this.
Fucking white folks."
Yeah, after that, I was done with it. But I mean, I could understand how it could be a good show. I know that people were telling me the story.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't strike me as interesting.
Bruh. I got one more for you. Watched this with my son last night.
Okay.
Power Rangers.
Okay.
Once and Always. It's on Netflix right now. It is a reunion of who is left of the original cast of the Power Rangers.
You said who is left of?
I mean, Jason David Frank.
That is sad.
Jason David Frank. Right. Jason David Frank just passed away or committed suicide 3 or 4 months ago.
That's the green or the White Ranger.
Yep. And then.
But he was. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, what's interesting is, like, I don't know, they sideline his character pretty quickly. Like, you see him, you see the Green Ranger.
All right.
But he gets sidelined, like, for pretty much the whole movie, as does the original Red Ranger. But what's interesting is you get pretty much the cast of, like, the originals. Like, Zach and Billy are kind of the main characters. Amy Jo Johnson also gets sidelined, so, like, Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, isn't there, but whoever took over for Kimberly is there.
Not interested.
Oh no, it's not good at all. Don't get it twisted. But it was fun to watch with the kiddo, like, and I was like, "Aw," but
I mean, he was probably looking like that.
No, he's a Power Rangers fan. We dressed up one year. But but it was interesting the way they did it. Like, it was fun for the hour that it was. Like, it wasn't anything more than that. It was just as cheesy and just as bad as old Power Rangers episodes. But because I think it was David Yost who plays Billy was the one who, like, fought to get it greenlit and to, like, do it. Like, he's pretty much the main character. It's like him and Zach are, like, the only two that really have anything to do. And then I
don't know enough of the people to.
So the Black and the Blue Ranger are the only two that really have much to do.
The Black Ranger was the black dude.
Of course it was.
And the Blue Ranger was the dude with the glasses.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
And they're okay.
And they're old as shit now. Wait a minute. They're a little older than us.
Listen.
Oh, man.
That's all I can say.
I think that was the last. I think that was the other one. Oh, I did see, and this is one I think I dropped on the channel. The Mario Brothers movie. Super Mario movie. That was fun for what it was. I mean, I
heard good things about it.
Yeah, no, it's fun to watch. I'd watch it again. Like, when it comes to streaming, I'll watch it with Andrew again. He had a good time with it. That's why I went. That was a good one.
Is that why you went?
No, I would have gone without him anyways, but
I'm sure you would.
All right, so Night Agent. What else? You got anything else?
Night Agent. Yeah, that's the one right there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been I ain't gonna stunt. I've been watching what's the name of it? Little Dicky show.
Okay. All right.
The season 3 just came out and it's on, I believe, episode 5.
Is that Hulu?
Well, I think it's on Hulu. But yeah, I think episode 5 comes out this week. Listen, the first 4, I'm not gonna lie, they were fire for what they were.
Okay.
And what I will also say is, beyond the Lil Dicky show, that new Above the Rim with Jack Harlow.
Okay. Is it that good?
It looks better than the first one.
Yeah.
I love the first Above the Rim with Wesley Snipes and Woody Allen. Or no, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
But this one, it looks good.
All right.
I was ready to make fun of it, but it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie about it.
That's
and
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I almost kind of